Good day everyone, I am Bisig Malapitan from BSC 1-6 and I am here now to present my PowerPoint regarding to the topic of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, Article 7 and 8, given to me by Ms. Alcantara, our beloved advisor. So let's now proceed and have a brief discussion about the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. So it was created on December 10, 1948, also adopted by the General Assembly number 2178, and also uh, translated into 500 languages. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights composed of 58 members parliament, including Franklin D. Roosevelt and his wife, um, Eleanor Roosevelt, and other members of the United Nations, wherein the Universal Declaration of Human Rights was composed of 30 articles. So, what comes into your mind when you see this picture? Anyone? Yes, that's right. So, let's now proceed to Article 7. So, Article 7 states that all are equal before the law and are entitled without any discrimination to the equal protection of the law. All are entitled to equal protection against any discrimination in violation of this declaration and against any incitement to such a discrimination. Article 7 simply discusses about the right to equality before the law. So before we proceed to another slide, let's now discuss deeply about Article 7. So Article 7 ensures that everyone is protected by the law, same punishment for the same crime. Article 7 also states that no one is above the law or no one is below the law. It also discusses about the application of the law should be applied to everyone at the same manner to all. Article 7 also discusses or states about the word discrimination. So, what is discrimination? Defining the discrimination according to Latin word discrimination is discriminare, or meaning to have separation or to make distinction, classification, or being impartial to somebody or someone else. It also have the types of discrimination. So we have discrimination against women with disability, gender, age, culture, religion, and so on. So let's now proceed to Article 8. Article 8 states that everyone has the right to an effective remedy by the competent of the National Tribunal for an act violating the fundamental rights granted him by the Constitution. Article 8 simply defines as access to justice. Article 8 discusses that everyone has the right to obtain legal help or legal proceeding. It also the ability to seek, whether it is informal or formal institution to justice. So Article 8 also states about the fundamental human rights. So here are the fundamental human rights in the Philippines. We have the right to due process, the right to freedom of speech, which is under by the cultural rights, freedom of religion, freedom of privacy, and right to equality, which is under by the civil rights. There are also common problems affecting the access to justice, which are the financial problem, reluctant to use the law, and the institutional imbalances. The financial problems is one of the factors that affects the access to justice is that due to economic, there are poor people who cannot afford to pay or to rent a good lawyer to protect their rights and to defend themselves for the defendant. Second is the reluctant to use the law. There are people that preferred not to use the law because they think that the law is only for those who have elite eliteness or power, such as political person and higher authority. And third is the institutional imbalances. People think that access to justice is only for those who have the power and the authority to pay the government or the judge to win their cases. Uh, and that are the common problem or issues that the access to judge facing. So let's now proceed to significance of the due process. So the due process is the principle that the person cannot be deprived his liberty, security, and of a person without the legal proceeding. It is also the process of the law of the constitutional guarantee that prevents the government from impacting citizens in abusive ways. In this modern form, due process includes both procedural standards and the universal and procedural standards and the courts must uphold in order to protect people's personal liberty, life, and security. It is also the fundamental fairness both to civil and the criminal offender. So let's now proceed to Article 7, application to the Philippines and to the other country. For the same purpose, for our Constitution, we have the Section 1 of Article 8 of our Philippine Constitution 1987. It states that the Congress shall give highest priority to enhance and protect the people, protect and enhance the right of all the people. It is also includes about the reducing of social rights, economic and political inequalities. The Section 1, Article 8 of our Philippine Constitution also gives priority to the employment and labor of the Filipino citizen, whether it is in local or overseas. It also gives priority to unorganized and organize and promote full employment protection to equal opportunities at all. We have also the comparison of the Universal Declaration Article 8 to the Federal Constitution of Malaysia. So it is simply that in comparison, the Federal Constitution of Malaysia is failed in implementing their access to justice, which is the Article 8, due to the case of two young women, which is one is the flight attendant of a private airport and the public teacher. So the case of these two young women, they were become pregnant and they were able to work. So the company took away their jobs. So they appealed to the court, but the court of justice did not give their rights and fairness to protect their rights against the discrimination they were facing each other. So that is the comparison of the UDHR Article 8 from the Constitution of the Malaysia. So thank you. I am Bisig Malapitan from BSc 1-6, and that's all my report regarding the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, Article 7A.